Initiate.
Hey guys, it's been a while and it's finally here. Nutrition Science and all the cool nutrition stuff part 2. This video is based around the question that I get the most. Do crash diets work? For those of you saying, what is a crash diet? Essentially, it's a diet that athletes use after their off season to get a good enough BMI to be able to play sports again. They do this by stripping all the carbs out of their diet, which causes their glycogen stores to plummet along with their water content, causing a dramatic decrease in fat-free mass. I'm going to read an example straight out of the Exercise and Physiology book. That way you can't be mad at me because it's coming straight out of the horse's mouth. In our example, the football player might be able to shed 20 pounds in 4 weeks with his crash diet, but much of the weight loss will come from the body's water and very little from stored fat. Several studies have shown that substantial weight loss occurs with very low-calorie diets over the first several weeks, but that of the weight loss, more than 60% comes from the body's fat-free tissue and less than 40% comes from fat deposits. While much of the football player's weight is lost from water stores, a substantial amount of protein is lost as well. Also, most crash diets are based on a major reduction in carbohydrate intake. This reduced intake is insufficient to supply the body's needs for carbohydrate, and as a result, the body's carbohydrate stores become depleted. Because water storage accompanies carbohydrate storage, the water stores are also reduced as the carbohydrate stores diminish, as discussed earlier in this chapter. In addition, the body relies more heavily on free fatty acids for energy because its carbohydrate stores have been depleted. As a result, ketone bodies, a byproduct of fatty acid metabolism, accumulates in the blood, causing a condition known as ketosis. This condition further increases water loss. Much of this water loss occurs during the first week of the diet. Athletes that have attempted this ill-advised shortcut to rapid weight loss will lose substantial weight, but because much of its weight loss came from fat-free mass, their performance has been severely compromised. The only thing that has been able to work is a gradual decrease in calories. For knowing how many calories you are burning, I recommend the Fitbit Charge 2, and they have an updated Charge 3 which has upgraded capability, and unlike the Charge 2 which is only splash-proof, the Charge 3 is waterproof, so you could take it swimming with you. If you don't want to use the Fitbit cheese, you can always use the Mifflin-St. Leor's equation, a long, drawn-out, and complicated equation used to determine your resting and active metabolism. Do you remember all those percentages I was talking about in the Nutrition Science and all the cool nutrition stuff 1 video? Using your Fitbit, you could determine how much weight you want to lose in a linear time fashion. If you remember, the macronutrients for general fitness was 50% carbs at 4 calories per gram, 35% fat at 9 calories per gram, and 15% protein at 4 calories per gram. You could play with those numbers a little bit, but this is what's recommended by the American Council of Exercise. So let's say your Fitbit says you burn 2,500 calories a day. So you have to eat 2,500 calories just to maintain your weight. So if you want to lose weight, you could subtract one of these factors from that number. If you subtract 500 calories a day, you will lose 1 pound per week. If you subtract 750 calories from that number, you will lose 1.5 pounds per week. And if you subtract 1,000 from that number, you will lose 2 pounds per week. Let's say you wanted to burn 1 pound per week, and your Fitbit says that you burn 2,500 calories a day. So you subtract 500 from that number, and you get 2,000. You know that carbs should be at least 50% of your total caloric intake, so you multiply that 2,000 by 0.50 in the calculator, and you get 1,000. And we know that there are 4 calories in a gram of carbs, so you divide that number by 4, and voila, you get 250 carbs a day. Next, we have fat. Fat is set at 35%, So multiply 2,000 by 0.35 and you get 700. We know that there are 9 calories in 1 gram of fat, so divide 700 by 9 and boom, we get 77 grams of fat. Lastly, we have protein. Protein is set at 15%, so multiply 2,000 by 0.15 and you get 300. Divide it by 4 and boom, you get 75 grams of protein. So now we have all your macros: 250 grams of carbs, 77 grams of fat, and 75 grams of protein. Keep in mind that none of this will work if you are eating poorly. Low sodium natural foods work best, like meat, fruit, vegetables, grains, and low-fat dairy. A good 2,000 calorie diet would be like 2 cups of fruit, 2.5 cups of vegetables, 6 ounces of grains like oatmeal, rice, pasta, cereal, and popcorn, 5.5 ounces of protein like fish, steak, or chicken, and 3 cups of fat-free dairy like milk and yogurt. You may even want to increase these measurements by 1/3 if you like to work out or have a very physical job to keep up with energy demands. Well, that's my lesson for the day. If you need more resources, you can check out choosemyplate.gov. It used to be called myfoodpyramid.gov, but First Lady Michelle Obama decided she didn't like it and had it changed. Well, until next time, eat healthy and exercise regularly. See ya.